What in the world are visual discrimination activities? You're probably wondering by the title of this video. I want to talk about those and why it's really important that you maybe do a couple of them with your preschool age child. Hey you guys, it's Christina from the Purple Alphabet and welcome to my channel. If you would like to, I would love to have you subscribe to the Purple Alphabet. I do educational activities for children, ideas and inspirations to learn through play, plus a little bit of hauls and some fun giveaways sprinkled in between. Visual discrimination activities are a great exercise to do with your children, and I personally think they're kind of fun. Usually it's something that will help your child use their visual senses in order to discriminate between several options. I'm going to show you some ideas that I have to work on those skills with your child. Before we get started with all of our activities, I have to give a shout out to our winner of my last giveaway, which was the Crossits game. It was a really great logical critical thinking game. If you see your name here on the screen, you have won. Check your email box. You have 72 hours to respond to that email to claim your prize. And you guys know me, if you miss this one, and not to worry, I got another giveaway in the works. It'll be up this week. So I have a ton of activity ideas in this one, so you're definitely going to get a lot of inspiration. I'm going to try and show you all different types of skill levels too, so you can kind of get an idea what your child might fit. I have just a piece of paper here and a marker, and this is just simple, no-brainer, easy, okay, you guys, because I try to get those easy ones in there where you can just do them right away. So you're just going to, before you give this to your child, you're going to write all kinds of letters and numbers or symbols on the sheet all over, kind of like this. And you can do this on, like I said, piece of paper, dry erase board, chalkboard, whatever you have. Just be creative, whatever your kids like. I also decided to keep them all the same color. As you get increasingly more difficult, you can experiment with different colors too. So I have numbers and letters on here. You can keep it just letters, keep it just numbers, and I have about the same size. You can also do it different sizes on your own. I'm going to use these new Do-A-Dot markers that we got from my Lakeshore Learning Store haul a while ago, and they're the smelly markers, just to make things a little bit more fun. It smells super, super yummy. You don't have to have these, not required, but just make it a little fun here. So now the object is to find a particular letter, and you get to call out what this is going to be. So say it's 3. So your child is going to have to find all the 3s in the mess of letters you have here on the sheet and circle it, stamp it, whatever you're doing. And it's just a great exercise in discriminating against all the other chaos and clutter on the sheet and finding that one thing that you're looking for. If this is too difficult for your child, try less chaos. So just put all of them in a row in a nice orderly pattern, kind of like a seek and find puzzle, and that should be easier. And then work your way up to a little bit more chaotic sheets like this, or even try less letters and numbers on your sheet. So depending on where you are in your skill level, then that's where you'll need this. More complicated students, try sight words or more complicated numbers and symbols. Next was a busy bag idea that I have had, I think, for a very, very long time. These are foam blocks. You can use any kind of manipulative, even Legos if you have them. And this originally in my easy busy bag was to match up these pattern strips and copy all the rows. This is one of my very, very first videos. If you are a true Purple Alphabet fan, you know about these. Anyway, so that is just the most simple way to use these blocks. However, what you can do is place these blocks in a pattern, and this is a very simple exercise too, the easiest form. And now your child has to determine which is different in the second row here. So we know that this one is different. So you can either have them do it that same way or just point to it, and you repeat the exercises like this. You can even go more complicated and do maybe square puzzles. I made this one even harder, so there are 2 blocks that are different here, and so depending on the age of your child and the skill level of your child, you can make this a little bit harder. So look around the house, see what you have a lot of. These foam blocks can be found sometimes at Dollar Tree too in smaller form. Use Legos, those are probably the most common thing, and then create a pattern and then do another one, and you can have the same which one is different. I'm still on my sticker ban. Yes, I put myself on a sticker ban because I have way too many stickers that need to get used. So I have a sheet of stickers here, and the reason reason why I picked this particular one, and this is important to note, is because it has a variety of stickers plus a lot that are the same. And we're talking category the same here. So I have a piece of paper, and so your job, you could even have your child do this and they won't even realize that they're helping you out in the activity, is to stick these all over a sheet of paper. Maybe your child will help you do this part, because sticking stickers and pulling them off a sheet is a great fine motor. You all probably already knew that. So I got some on here. You could probably put a little bit more. So now for the most simple way to do this, I would suggest just doing it by thing. So maybe can you find all the sharks and circle them? But for the more advanced child, think in categories. Circle all of the living things, or circle all of the red things. Circle all of the things that are animals. I don't know. So you can be very creative in what you ask them to circle, and think about categories. And it all depends on what types of stickers you have, of what you're going to ask them to look for. But another great discrimination activity. Take it one step further than just the obvious and think of categories that are a little bit more abstract and require a little bit more thinking for the child that needs a little bit more difficulty level. If you have some Scrabble letter tiles, I have these letter tiles from another game. These can be really great for a visual discrimination activity. All right, so the first I had them all scattered out here. Very similar to the first thing I showed you where you put them on a piece of paper and you use that do-a-dot marker to dab them out. But this one is very similar. However, notice the letters are going all different kinds of directions. A little bit easier to do. You can do that on the paper too. And so you would say, can you find me all of the A's? And so not only is this letter recognition, it's also sorting them out from all of the jumbled mess here. Once again, if it's too hard for your child, put them all the right direction first and then go from there, or set them up in rows. Okay, so you kind of have to fill out what's right for your child. Two different sets of letters here. One is a little bit different than the other. Can you spot the differences? If this is too difficult, simply make it a 3-letter puzzle. And which letter is, I gotta make one different, huh? Which letter is different? Very important to use letter tiles that are very similar in shape and size and color, so that way it doesn't confuse your child even more. But you can also make this as big and complicated as you want. Think Scrabble tiles or movable alphabets, all kinds of ways that you can mimic this if you don't have these kinds of tiles. So usually people have some Scrabble tiles and those work wonderful for this. I really think it'd be fun to use this for spelling words and things if you're working on spelling words with your child, but which letter doesn't belong in here, and then they could take it out and then put the correct letter in. And then that would work with really any spelling words. Think about those ways that you can combine this with other kinds of skills that they're already learning. Here is a freebie, a free printable from Liz's Early Learning Spot. She has several sheets here, all for free, that you can print out. Excuse my bad printer ink. Still have to fix that. All kinds of different things, different levels. So these are different by color, so you'd have to print these out in color, but she does have some black and white ones in here too that you could use. And so the idea is here to laminate them and cut them out. I haven't laminated mine yet, but I have a couple strips here for example. So you would basically take a clothespin and you would clip the clothespin onto the one that is different. And then you'll use these according to skill level. So some of them are a little bit more complicated and harder to do than others. I have some honorable mention things for you. This is a card set. It's a compare and contrast card set from the Little People brand that is at Dollar Tree. So just $1 if you're interested in getting a set like this. And they're just different cards and they say what is similar, what's different. And so these do require a little bit of direction from an adult. So you would take two similar cards and you would talk about, okay, what's different about them? What's the same? Or maybe you would pull two different cards and talk about similarities and differences here. One's a girl, one's an animal, or one has her feet crossed, one has them straight, and you can go on and play with all the cards that way. You can put them down on the floor and pick one out of the pile. Many different ways that you could use those for $1. We've used these several times and it's interesting to see how the skill level changes from each time that we use it. So definitely a good one to keep coming back to, and a really quick, I mean, you could spend just 4 to 5 minutes on this. Also be on the lookout in like children's magazines. Highlights magazines has these too. This one is a National Geographic, I think. Yes, a National Geographic kids book. And inside this one, there is a spot the differences. And some of these you can print online too. So basically there's 2 pictures, they're the same, and you're supposed to find the differences between both pictures. Excellent resource. Highlights magazine has these for sure. I even think Dollar Tree has books of them every now and then. So be on the lookout for those. Another really simple and fun one. And then of course, how can we forget these? These are from the Target Dollar Spot, and they just brought them back from back to school, so you might be able to find them. They are a Spot It game. There is the name brand Spot It game too, which is the exact same thing. So if you can't find the cheaper version, you can look for this one. But basically, it's a card game that you play with other people, or you could play with yourself, I suppose, where you turn over 2 cards and you try to find the ones that match. And what's great about this is that it's a quick, fast pace, and you're trying to beat everybody else in the game. And plus, the pictures are all over the place. So I've seen these in sight words, I've seen these with letters and alphabets. These are pictures of people, and they have maybe 4 other different styles in them. And then the Spot It brand has some, and you can also find these on Etsy too. So just a little affordable way to explore matching and visual discrimination, particularly quickly. And the kids love this one. This is a favorite. We take this even to restaurants with us. So that's simple and easy, right? And it's a lot of fun to really work on these skills with your child. If you do any activities that are similar, let me know down below in the comments. A lot of times I get some comments from you guys, and you really inspire me to do some further videos and some further ideas. Make sure to click subscribe to see more videos like this and to give me a thumbs up to show your love.